All right. Hope everyone's doing well. This is Willie G here with Gold Standard Insurance. And today I'm going to share with you how I built a $50,000 final expense insurance machine without relying on lead vendors or third parties. So over the last year, I've tried, tested so many things. I've made tons of mistakes. I've lost lots of money testing, tweaking, iterating throughout the past year. Started with lead vendors, moved to running my own ads, building up my own system, building my own CRM, all of this stuff. And this video isn't about the number; it's about the system behind it, and specifically to help folks understand and learn why they might not achieve this because they don't understand exactly what is required in order to do this. So most agents don't fail because they're bad at sales. They fail because they never control their acquisition. They don't know their own numbers, and they don't build a repeatable system that can predictably output consistent results every single month. So that's what I want to share with you today. So let's start at the beginning. So the first phase of getting started in life insurance, final expense, telesales, it's not about, you should not go and start building out your own ads immediately. That's not what I'm saying here. There are steps. You must crawl before you walk, walk before you run. And so the first step in getting acquainted with this business is getting your reps in. Reps is the single most important thing that you must focus on when you're getting started in this business. So you need to learn to handle objections consistently present presentations, go through quotes, lots and lots of quotes, learn underwriting, learn a lot of medications, learn health conditions. You should be able to learn the pattern recognition on these sales calls, be able to build up the awareness of, oh, this person's a buyer, this person's not a buyer. I'm not going to waste my time on this person. I'm going to spend more time on this person because it seems like they actually want coverage and need coverage for their family. So learn the customers, learn the archetypes of the people that you're chatting with, and just get really good at sales and underwriting and applications and just learning everything. So you can't skip this step. I'm not saying at the beginning you need to control your customer acquisition, your marketing, but you should at least work with an agency or IMO that can provide you with access to fresh, exclusive leads and not at crazy markups. So one of the big pitfalls that you can have when running into the wrong IMO or agency is they force you to rely on recycled leads or to use lead vendors where the lead vendor has a different objective than you. Their objective is to make money on a price per lead, and your objective is to have as low as possible of a customer acquisition cost. So it's best to partner with an agency that is aligned with you, not marking up their leads, providing you with a system and a path in order to be able to just focus on the one thing that matters when you're getting started, which is getting your reps in, learning the business. So after you go through phase one, you're getting a little bit better, you're closing a little bit more consistently. Now it's very crucial to learn your numbers. This is, again, step number 2 in building a predictable system that outputs. I mean, you want a business that is consistent and predictable. The next step after you learn the sales process is understanding, okay, what are the inputs that are going to be necessary in order to make this predictable. So what is things that I'm referring to is what's your cost per lead? What is your contact rate per lead? How many leads does it take to actually talk to someone on the phone and present? How many appointments can you set up per 10 leads, per 20 leads? How many are you one call closing? How many are you setting of those leads? How many are uncontacted? What is your persistency? I mean, and this comes a little bit later once you're placing policies, but what's your persistency? What's your placement rate? How many policies that you're submitting are actually making their first month payment, their first 3 months payment? What is the lifetime value of a policy and a customer? So learning all of these things help you make more informed decisions on the front end, because once you understand these metrics, this is how you make it more consistent and predictable, because you'll be able to know, I mean, this is the financial model, this is the business model of what you're doing. So you need X amount of inputs to get X amount of contacts, to get X amount of presentations, to get X amount of sales, which is worth, and X amount of sales will turn into X amount of placed policies, which will turn into X amount of 12-month persisted policies, etc. And then you'll know, okay, here's my customer acquisition cost on average. This is what I can afford to pay. And then you could start to tweak these knobs, improve them with your sales processes, with your systems, with your scripts, all of this stuff. So this is really step 2 is learning the business. Step 1 is learning how to sell, learning underwriting, putting your feet to the fire. Step number 2 is learning your economics, learning your inputs, learning your numbers, learning the metrics, and being able to eventually tweak things, make things, improve things a little bit better here, make sure you're spending enough here, make sure things aren't going out of whack over there. You'll be able to see if things break sooner if you know your numbers, you know your key performance indicators, your inputs. So that's why step number 2 is just learning the business model a bit better only after you get your reps in. And you feel comfortable that you can present in your sleep. You can sell a person in your sleep. That's obviously step number 1. So, and then eventually you'll enter phase number 3, which is scale. So learn the process, learn the business, learn the sales, learn your numbers, learn the business model, and then scale. Turn the knob. So eventually you'll want to learn marketing and be able to do your own marketing, be able to control your inputs, control the asset that you're building, which is your business. So once you know this, you want to be able to own the machine. You want to own your advertising. So layer in, if you want to build out your own Facebook ads or your own lead generation systems, that's fine. I help. Part of the advantage of joining my agency is I will literally build it out for you or help you build it out along the way as you learn the inputs and as you build the business. It's not something that you want to start with, but the end goal is to own something that is predictable, consistent, that you control the knobs, you know the levers, you know how to tinker with things so that you can scale. If you have control over the whole system, you're not reliant on third parties or lead vendors, eventually you can build a business that scales and eventually an agency that scales. So, so how I've structured my system, my agency, for my agents, those coming in, they get fresh exclusive leads at cost. You don't have to pay any vendor markups. It's a heavy focus on appointment scheduling versus endless chasing. And I really like the setting of appointments. I have tons of appointments on the calendar every single week. I can share with you this was just last week. I'm building out the agency, but I'm still in the sales mode. I've got 50, 60 appointments a week set on the calendar. And eventually I'm at the point where I own and control the system. I have an offshore setter, someone in the Philippines who's doing my dialing for me. I have an AI dialer as well to call some of the aged leads and to be my speed of lead. On Friday, I didn't make a single dial. Last week, Friday, I didn't make a single dial. On average, I'm making 15 to 20 dials per day. And my system with the AI dialer and the setter is doing around 700 to 800 dials a day, trying to set the appointments, doing the live transfers. I'm obviously taking inbound still, but this is something to build towards. Once you own the asset, you have a lot of control and you can have a repeatable system. So again, I think calendars, live transfers, that removes the chaos. Inbound calls, it removes the chaos versus chasing, one call closing. It's a very different model, but one that can scale with yourself. And then as you learn the economics, can scale with an agency as well. And that's the point where I am at. So the real point of this video, it's not about the numbers. It's really understanding the system, learning the steps, understanding that there is a process. You can't jump steps. I can't tell you how many folks I've talked to are like, can you show me how to use the AI dialer? I'm like, yes, but not when you're getting started. You do not want to spend the money and the time. You're going to be a better salesperson than the AI dialer and the offshore setter, and you'll convert more appointments and sales if you're the one at the beginning on the phones. You can't jump to. There's no shortcut. There's no silver bullet. There's no fast lane in order to accomplish your goals. You have to learn the skills. Skills take time. Then you pick up a new skill after you learn your first skill, and then your second skill, and then your third skill, and you really build a compounding business machine versus jumping to the end state, which obviously is desirable. It seems flashy, it seems nice, but you can't go out of order. So if you build this the right way, your business should not collapse. If a vendor raises prices, you step away for a few weeks, or at least source dries up over time. So if you're in a situation where this is happening to you, you do not own your system quite yet. You are renting it, and it might be time to make a shift. So if you're early in the journey, focus on reps. If you're mid-level, focus on numbers, learn the business model. And then if you're advanced, focus on marketing, owning your asset, and scaling. So if you want to build something predictable, repeatable, scalable, there should be a link below around this video. You can learn, if you're interested in joining my agency, seeing an agency overview video that might be helpful for you. If not, please subscribe, like the video. I'll put more content out like this. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up, and I will see you on the next one.